Hello and welcome back to Vnews Broadcast Daily. Today we'll cover the following stories.
The third meeting of the Party Central Committee opened in Hanoi. Vietnamese, Ukrainian Prime Ministers held talks in Kiev. Workshop discussed sex imbalance at birth in Asia. ASEAN sought ways to promote food security.
The third meeting of the Party Central Committee, 11th tenure, opened in Hanoi on October 6th. General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng delivered an opening speech.
As scheduled, the meeting will deliberate the socio-economic development situation in 2011, as well as the major orientations, objectives, and tasks of the socio-economic development plans for 2012 and the 2011-2015 period. Delegates will also consider the promulgation of regulations on performing the party statutes, instructions guiding the performance of regulations on party inspection and supervision, as well as other important issues. In his speech, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng highlighted a number of matters regarding the contents and tasks of the meeting, as the country is in the first year to implement the resolution of the 11th National Party Congress. The party leader requested the delegates to uphold the spirit of democracy, brain power, and responsibility in discussing the tabled issues. The meeting will last until October the 10th.
State President Trương Tấn Sang hosted separate receptions for the newly appointed ambassadors of Belgium, Germany, Finland, and Luxembourg, who presented their credentials in Hanoi on October 5th.
While receiving Belgian Ambassador Bruno Argelet, President Sang expressed his delight at the continuous development of bilateral relations in all fields. With a two-way trade of $1.2 billion, Belgium remains Vietnam's sixth largest export market in the EU, he said. Ambassador Bruno Argelet affirmed that the Belgian government considers Vietnam a priority in its development and cooperation policy. Talking with German Ambassador Klaus Wudelich, the state leader said he is pleased with the friendship and effective cooperation between Vietnam and Germany, especially when the two sides are actively preparing for the Vietnam visit of German Chancellor Angela Merkel later this month. The German ambassador said he is impressed at Vietnam's socio-economic development and wished he could contribute to bringing Germany-Vietnam relations to a new height. Meeting Finnish Ambassador Kimmo Ladivita, the President thanked the Finnish government and people for the official development assistance they have provided for Vietnam. Ambassador Kimmo Ladivita said Finland always attaches importance to boosting the traditional friendship and cooperation with Vietnam, considering it a foundation to further boost the bilateral relations in the years to come. Receiving Luxembourg ambassador to Thailand and Vietnam, Mark Thiel, President Sang said, while ranking fourth among EU investors in Vietnam, Luxembourg enterprises should continue to seek further investment opportunities in metallurgy, transport, and financial services. Ambassador Mark Thiel expressed his belief that, with great potential of both sides, Luxembourg and Vietnam would successfully cooperate and assist each other in many fields.
Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng and his Ukrainian counterpart Mykola Azarov held talks in Kiev on October 5th to discuss measures to step up bilateral cooperation, especially in economics, trade, and investment.
The two leaders agreed to continue completing a legal foundation for bilateral cooperation and improve the operations of the Vietnam-Ukraine Intergovernmental Committee for Economic, Trade, Scientific and Technical Cooperation. They discussed ways to support import-export activities and remove bilateral trade barriers in an effort to double two-way trade between Vietnam and Ukraine in 2012 from $260 million in 2010. The leaders pledged to fully tap investment and cooperation potential between the two countries, especially in the fields of energy, mechanical engineering, machinery manufacturing, chemicals, and shipbuilding. After the talks, the two prime ministers witnessed the signing of the minutes of the 12th meeting of the Vietnam-Ukraine Intergovernmental Committee for Economic, Trade, Scientific and Technical Cooperation, a joint venture deal between the Vietnam Airlines Corporation and the Aero Service Company, and a memorandum of understanding between Hanoi National University and Kiev National University.
Earlier, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng met with Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych and Chairman of the Parliament Vladimir Litvin.
Talking with President Yanukovych, Prime Minister Dũng affirmed that Vietnam's consistent policy is to consolidate and develop the friendship and cooperation with the Ukraine, considering it one of the priorities in the country's foreign affairs. President Yanukovych affirmed that Ukraine is willing to cooperate and support Vietnam in areas of oil and gas, mineral processing, science and technology, space science, power generator manufacturing, security and defense. Meeting with Chairman of the Parliament Vladimir Litvin, Prime Minister Dũng urged the Ukrainian Parliament to actively boost bilateral cooperation by giving necessary legal assistance to enforce agreements reached between the leaders of the two nations. Chairman Litvin expressed he wished that the legislative bodies of Ukraine and Vietnam will continue exchanging delegations, sharing experience in lawmaking and supervision, and coordinating with each other at international forums.
On the morning of October 6th, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng left Kiev, wrapping up his three-day official visit to Ukraine. Similar to other Asian countries, the Vietnamese government is concerned over the growing sex imbalance at birth. Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Ttxvn delivered this message at the opening of the two-day workshop in Hanoi on October 5th.
In Vietnam, the sex ratio at birth was 111 boys per 100 girls in 2010. The ratio is forecast to rise to 115 boys per 100 girls in 2020 if the country has no effective measure to control. Deputy Prime Minister Nhân expressed hope that the seminar would tap into useful experience in how to adjust policies to develop families and build an effective healthcare and social welfare system to gain a normal gender balance ratio, which helps the country to develop safely and sustainably. At the workshop, participants discussed experience in coping with the problem in Asia, especially in the Republic of Korea.
The Vietnam Association of Photographic Artists on October 5th announced the winner of the 6th International Artistic Photo Contest, which was launched 4 months ago.
Co-organized by the Vietnam Association of Photographic Artists and the International Federation of Photographic Art, the contest attracted more than 1,600 photographers with 11,000 entries from 55 countries and territories. The organizers presented 37 prizes in 3 sections: open color, monochrome section, and Vietnam images through our lens for foreign photographers only. Vietnam won 2 gold medals in the monochrome and 1 gold in the color category. 250 most outstanding photos will be displayed at the Temple of Literature in Hanoi at the end of November.
13 Vietnamese contestants are joining more than 1,000 others from 50 countries and territories in the World Skills London 2011, a competition designed for young people to show off their prowess in a variety of professional skills.
At World Skills London 2011, the Vietnamese contestants will compete in 12 professions ranging from bricklaying and cooking to web and graphic design. Dương Đức Lân, Deputy Head of the General Department of Vocational Training, said with experience from competitions in Japan in 2007 and in Canada in 2009, the Vietnamese team is expected to win medals at the event, especially in the fields of strength like fashion, graphic design, and information network cable installation. The competition is held every 2 years in a member country to demonstrate youth excellence in skilled professions.
Vietnamese bodybuilder Phạm Văn Mách outperformed his rivals to bag a gold medal in the men's 55 kg category at the Asian Bodybuilding Championships in Bangkok, Thailand on October 5th.
This is the 6th time the Vietnamese bodybuilder has secured the title at the Asian Championships. On the first day of the competition, the Vietnamese team also won 3 silvers and 5 bronze. The Asian Bodybuilding Championships is taking place from October 4th to 7th, coinciding with the 3rd World Championships for female athletes.
The 3rd Asian Food Security Conference with the theme of food trade, investment and food security wrapped up in Jakarta, Indonesia on October 5th.
The 3-day conference drew more than 100 delegates from ASEAN member countries and other nations, as well as representatives from regional and international organizations. At the conference, the participants focused on 4 main topics of food security, intellectual property and agri-food trade, trade regulations and standards, and food trade facilitation inside ASEAN. They proposed launching a dialogue mechanism between the private sector and ASEAN governments on regional food trade. The ASEAN Secretariat's representative Suriyan Vichilenkan introduced action programs and initiatives to ensure food security for ASEAN. He also emphasized the need to implement the ASEAN Plus3 Emergency Rights Reserve Program to provide emergency aid relief to member countries affected by disasters.
That's going to be all for today. Again, thank you for watching and good day to you.